Hello students, let us understand the topic of real numbers of 10th standard maths. Real numbers we are going to study in this topic. Okay, we'll just see the board now. We know this is a scale. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that up to infinity is a set of natural numbers. And here it is natural numbers. Then when we added 0 to the system, then this becomes whole numbers. When we add minus also, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, like that, minus infinity, then we got integers, I or Z, integers. Now, there are certain other numbers also now. Between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, there are certain fractions. Say 1, 1 by 2, 2, 1 by 2, 3, 1 by 2. There are certain fraction. Is that when we add this also to our numbers, we have rational numbers. Rational. In this rational numbers, if you see an example, 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. The decimal is terminating. That means a terminating decimal rational number. If you see this another one, 10 by 3 is also rational number. Rational number is in the form of P by Q, where both are co-prime. So 10 by 3 is a co-prime. There is no common factor between them. So what is this? 3 3s are 9, P3, go on like this. So this is a non-terminating, but both can be represented in the form of P by Q. This is rational number. This is rational number. Both it can be represented in the form of P by Q, which are co-prime. Now, there is another set of numbers in the same zone. Another set of numbers is root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root of these prime numbers, which are not perfect squares. Which are not perfect squares. Suppose root 16 is a perfect square, so it is plus or minus 4. So root 16 is either this value or this value. Both are root 16. But root 5, this is 5. What is root 5? It will be around 2.2. So it will go, it's a non-terminating. It cannot be represented. Root 5 cannot be represented in the form of P by Q. We have seen different rational numbers in the form of P by Q. Between 1 and 2, P by Q form. 1, 1 by 2, 1, 1 by 3, 1, 1 by 4, 1, 1 by 5, 1, 1 by 6, like that. 1, 2 by 3, 1, 3 by 4, you go up to 2. So between 1 and 2, these are two natural numbers. I want to give rational numbers. So I can write 1, 1 by 10, 2 by 10, 3 by 10, 4 by 10, all 1. 1, 5 by 10, like that. 1, 10 by 10 is 2. 1 by 10 is 2. So how many rational numbers I am including in between 1 and 2 at this stage? I have 10 ones are 10 plus 1. 11 by 10, 12 by 10, 13 by 10, 14 by 10, 15 by 10, 19 by 10. So many rational numbers are included in between number 1 and number 2. If I put in decimal point, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1 point. This is the decimal point. This is the P by Q ratio. I can include so many numbers. Further, if you go further down, between 1.1 to 1.2, I want to add some more rational numbers. How we are going to add? So I put 1.1 is 1 by 10. This is 1.2 is 1 2 by 10. I am adding in between these two. Between is 2. 1 by 10, 1 2 by 10. Earlier I added between 1 and 2. Now I am adding in between 1 by 2. So I will write this as 1 10 by 100. This I can write this as 20 by 100. 2 by 10 is equal to 20 by 100. 10 by 10 is equal to 1 by 10 is equal to 10 by 100. Now I can add another 11 by 100, 12 by 100, 1 12 by 100, 1 13 by 100. Like that I can add. Last is 1 19 by 100. See, I have added another 10 numbers in between 110 by 100 to 120 by 100. Now, if I want to add between 10 and 11, now 1 10 by 100 and 1 21 11 by 100. I want to add in between these two. So I put what? 100 by 1000, 110 by 1000. Between 100 and 110, I can use 101 by 1000, 102 by 1000, like. I'll just repeat this. So we are talking of now rational numbers, P by Q, in the form of P by Q. Suppose I am taking two numbers, 0 and 1. This is 0, this is 1. So I want to add rational numbers between 0 and 1 to be represented in the form of P by Q. So I can write this 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.9, 1. Or we can say 1 by 10, 2 by 10, 3 by 10, 9 by 10. This is the rational form. 2 by 10 can be further simplified to 1 by 5, but we'll keep it as 2 by 10 present to understand the concept. So 1 by 10, 2 by 10, these are the rational numbers between natural number 0 and 1. Now, I want between 0 and 1 by 10 some more rational numbers. So I'll write here, instead of 1 by 10, I'll write 10 by 100. Here I'll write 0 by 10. 0 by 10 is also 0, and 10 by 100 is 1 by 10. So in between these two, I'm writing fractional numbers. So I have 0 to 10, 0 by 10 or 0 by 100, whatever. Now I have between 10. So 1 by 100, 2 by 100, 9 by 100. Again, I have 9 numbers between two fractions. I'm adding subfractions. So between 1.1 to 1 point, between 0.1 to 0.2, I am adding another 9 fractions. Suppose between these two, I want to add 0 by 100 to 1 by 100. So I can put it as 110 by 1000. Similarly, 1 by 1000, 2 by 1000, 3 by 1000. So from this, I can add infinite number of fractions between two integers. Same thing is the case with negative side. Suppose I want to add between -2 to -4. I want to add fractions in between -2 to -4. So this is -2, -2.5, -3, -3.5, -4. So I can add any number, 2.6, 2.1, 2.8. I can add any. I can further also in between, I can add like this. So that the rational, I can give any number of rational numbers between two integers and also between two rational numbers. Now let us see the irrational numbers. Suppose this is 1 and this is 1. What is this distance? This is C, this is A, this is B. So C square is equal to A square plus B square. So if this is 1, this is 1, 1 square plus 1 square is 2. So C is root 2. This length on the graph is root 2. If I give an arc on this, so this point is root 2. Suppose this is a root 2, I take again 1 here. So this is 1, this length is root 2. So what is this length? This length is root 2 whole square is 2 plus 1, so 3, root of 3. So you give another arc, this is root of 3, and here is 2, like that. So root 2 and root 3, even though they don't have a terminating decimal, even though they don't have this, but they are representing on the line. It cannot be represented by P by Q form. There are some numbers which cannot be represented by P by Q form. They are root 2, root 3, or prime numbers. Root 5, root 7, root 9, root 9 is 3, no problem. Root 11, root 13, they cannot be represented in P by Q form. So they are called irrational numbers. These are all rational numbers, P by Q. These are irrational numbers. Now this chapter we are going to study both rational and irrational numbers. Okay, we'll proceed. Now see this. These are our first natural numbers. 0 is not there in natural, it is a whole number. In fact, 0 means whole number. 1, 2, 3 up to infinity is natural number, including 0 is whole number. When we add negative numbers, then we call integer, represented by Z. Okay, this is next called rational numbers in the form of P by Q. 1 by 2, minus 2 by 3, 2.25. These are all terminating decimals are all can be represented in the terms of rational. Even non-terminating also can be represented in the form of P by Q. But certain things you cannot represent in the name of P by Q. That is root 2, root 3, 1 plus root 5 by 2, like that. So these are all real numbers. And 2 pi, e, pi, these also cannot be represented. These are all non-terminating decimals. Cannot be represented by P by Q. So these are all we call it as reset of real numbers. When I say real number, natural numbers also inclusive of that. Set of real numbers including natural, integer, rational, and irrational. All together is real numbers. And there is one more set, complex numbers, which includes real numbers also. We will study at a higher level, which includes root of -1. These things do not include root of -1. This includes root of -1 also. Okay. Now let us see terminating decimals and non-terminating decimals. Let us see an example here. So 0.375 is a terminating decimal. 0.104 is also a terminating decimal. 0.875 terminating decimal. 12.5. These are all terminating decimals. So when I convert to fraction, what I will do, I will put 0.375 by 1000. When I simplify it, it is 375 by 10 square, 10 cube. 1.04, 104 by 10 square. 875 by 10 to the power 4. 125 by 10 to the power 1, because 12.5 is by 10. If you see, these are all terminating decimals which have in the denominator multiples of 10. Either 10 square, 10 to the power 1, 10 to the power 5, 10 to the power 4, 10 cube, these are all multiples of 10. If denominator is having a multiple of 10, it is a terminating decimal. If you see here, when I'm further simplifying this, 0.375. When I'm simplifying, cutting the common fractions, 375 is 3 into 5 cube. 10 cubed is 2 cubed into 5 cube. When I remove common fractions, I will get 3 by 8 is the co-prime numbers. 3 by 8, they don't have common factor. So when I 3 by 5, I'm getting 0.375. If you see 3 by 5, I put 0.30. 8 threes are 24, 60. 8 sevens are 56, 40. 8 fives are 40. So I'm getting 0.37. Understood? So this from decimal I'm converting to fraction. From fraction by division method I convert to decimal. Again 1.04 become 26 by 25. 0.0025 become 25 by 10 to the power 5. That means 1 by 4,000. This is the P by Q form. This is a P by Q form. This is a P by Q form. So a decimal to P by Q form. A decimal to also P by Q form, but not in smallest terms. It is in terms of 10 as multiples in the bottom. If you go to next. Now you see. So whenever we have a bottom is multiple of 10, it is a terminating decimal. You see here 25 by 2. This is 25 by 2. 25 by 2. This is 3 by 8. This is 26 by 25. Now we are seeing here 25 by 2. I want multiples of 10 in the bottom. So what I am doing? I am multiplying 5 in the denominator and 5 in the numerator. So 5 square into 5, 5 cube by 2 into 5, 10. So this is 12.5. This is a terminating decimal. Again 25 is 5 square. I am putting 2 square and 2 square both sides. 2 square in the denominator, 2 square in the numerator. So when I 2 square into 5 square become 100, so I get 1.04. This is a terminating decimal. Similarly, this is 8 is 2 cube, so I am adding 5 cube both sides. It is terminating decimal. So whenever there is a terminating decimal, I have to convert the bottom into a multiple of 10, so that I will get a terminating decimal. That's what is written. If P by Q be a rational number such that prime factorization of Q is of the form of 2 to the power of n and 5 to the power of m. This is Q. P by Q means this is Q. 2 is Q. So 2 I am converting in the form of 2 to the power of 1 into 5 to the power of 0, or 5 to the power of 1 I put 5 also on the top. So 10 is in the form of 2 to the power of 1 and 5 to the power of 1. 10 square, 2 square into 5 square. 10 cube, 2 cube into 5 cube. 10 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 4 into 5 to the power of 4. When I can convert the Q, P by Q, the QU in this form, then it will result in a terminating decimal. Okay, this is same thing written in other form. If it is not like that, so if the Q is not in the form of 2 to the power of n, 5 to the power of m, then see 10 by 7. I cannot convert 7 into 10. I cannot multiply 10, it will get cancelled. So 10 by 7, 20 by 3, 20 by 200 by 11. These are all automatically will enter non-terminating decimals. Automatically will go to non-terminating decimals because there is no 2 to the power of 10 multiple in the denominator. So 3 by 8 we have seen, 3 by 2 cubed. So I am multiplying both sides, 5 cubed by 5 cubed. So this becomes 10 cubed. This 3 into 5 cubed is 375. 375 by 10 cubed is 0.37. Similarly, 26 by 20. These are all non-terminating decimals. Now, let us see examples from your chapter. Let us see exercise 1. What is ready? Which of the following rational numbers are terminating and non-terminating? 2 by 5 because it's a multiple of 5. So I can add 2 in the bottom, I can add 2 in the, multiply 2 in the bottom, 2 in the numerator, 2 into 2 by 5 into 2. So it's a terminating. 18 is 6 into 3. So there is a 3 here, which is not 2 and 5 are not there. 2 and 5 is also there, but 3 is also there in the denominator. So it is non-terminating. If I do 17 by 18, I'll do here. You see. 17 by 18. I put 6 into 3. There is no common multiple, so it is 17 by 18. If I go on this point, 89 are 1, 2, 8, 18 fours are 8, 18. Go on like this. So 89 are 162. And 170 minus 172, 8. 80. 18 4s are 72. Again 8. So it go on. This is a non-terminating list. Because in the denominator, you should have only 2 and 5. No 3, no 7, no 11. For terminating decimal. So that means this is non-terminating. So we can say 17 by 18 is non-terminating. 15 by 16, this is 2 to the power of 4. So I can add here 5 to the power of 4, multiply. I can do multiply 5 to the power of 4. This becomes a terminating decimal. Similarly, 40. 40 is 4 into 10. Again, terminating decimal. 11 is a non-terminating decimal. Now you see second one. Find any rational number between the pair of numbers given below. Let us see first this 3 1 by 3, 3 2 by 3. 3 1 by 3, 3 2 by 3. Okay. See here. 3 1 by 3, 3 by 3. So I am putting 1 by 3 as 10 by 30, 20 by 30. So what are I getting? 3 7 by 30, 3 12 by 30. Like that I can get 3 19 by 30. I can write any one or two numbers. Let us pick up an easy number. I put 3 12 by 30. 12 by 30 means 3 tens, 3 fours, 4 by 10, 2 twos, 2 fives, 3 2 by 5. Okay, 2 by 5. That is equal 15 plus 2. 17 by 5. 17 by 5. I can say 3 18 by 3, 18 by 30. 6 fives, 6 threes, 3 3 by 5. It is equal 18 by 5. So I can add any number of P by Q between given numbers. Okay, between half and root 1. Half and root 1. If you see half and root 1, this is the number line. This is the number line. This is 0, this is 1, this is half. Now what is root 1? Root 1 is plus 1 or minus 1. Root 1 is plus or minus 1. Because plus 1 into plus 1 is equal to 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 is equal to 1. So what is asking? Rational numbers between half and root 1. Half and not 1. Is asking not 1. Is asking root 1. Root 1 can be this. So I can have here 2 by 3, 3 by 4 between these two. And between these two I can have 1 by 4, minus 1 by 4, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 4. All these are. So minus 3 by 4, minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 4. Between minus 1 to plus 1, I can give any fraction except this 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is given to me. So I cannot give 1 by 2. Between 1 by 2 and the root of 1, I have 1 by 2 is limit 1 end. I have slowly. I can add further also. In between also I can add fractions. So he's asking 1 or 2 fractions. Now we'll go further. Now let us understand. Numbers given as a rational or irrational. 2 1 by 2 can be represented in the form of P by Q, rational. Root 24, it contains root of 3, irrational. Root 16 is root 4 plus or minus 4, rational. 7.7 is continuation decimal. It is also, how we can say, 7.7777 non-terminating decimal. It is also rational. Root of 4 by 9 is irrational. Root of minus 30, root 3 it is having irrational. 81 is irrational. So like that, we have irrational numbers. We put the following variables on the number line. Suppose I want to minus 9 by 10. I am taking this example. Minus 9 by 10. This is 0. This is 1. So minus 9 by 10 is 0.9. Minus 0.9, 0.1, 0.2, 0.5. This is more minus. So minus 9 by 10 is this on the number line. Similarly, root 5. I want to represent root 5 in the number line. This is a number line. This is 0, 0. Root 5 is what? This is 2. This is 1. So what is this distance? This is c square is equal to 2 square plus 1 square. That is 2 plus 4 plus 1, 5. So c is equal to root 5. So this distance is root 5. If I put an arc here, I'll get root 5. Root 5 is between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3. Okay? This is minus 4. This comes under minus 4. Now, any number can be represented in terms of a factorization method. Suppose a number 16,003, 1,63,800 number is there. If I am factorizing it, what is I am getting? 2 cube into 3 square into 5 square into 7 into 30. You see, these all are prime numbers. So I can convert any number into their prime multiplications. Yeah. So any composite number have a unique prime multiplication number. 2 cubes is maybe order may be different, but they will be unique. Only one set. You cannot have 13 square. You have only 113 as its factor. It is only 17 as its factor. It has 2 5s as its factor. It has 2 3s as its factors. So any composite number has unique product of prime numbers. Now you see this 2 into 3 into 11. All three are prime numbers. 66. 7, 11 are prime numbers. 7, 11, 23 prime numbers. 3, 7, 11, 23 prime numbers. So any composite number can be represented as either prime number or square powers of prime numbers. Now let us see the HCF and LCM just to have a revision. What is HCF? Product of smallest powers of each prime factor. So 12 can be divided into prime factors of 2 into 2 into 3. And 18, 2 into 3 into 3. Here you have 2 2s and 1 3. Here you have 1 2 and 3 3s. So when HCF I have to take, because this is supposed to divide both. HCF value is supposed to divide both. So it is having only one factor common between these two. And it is having only one factor common. So 2 into 3, 6. So 6 can divide. If I divide 12 by 6, what happens? 2 into 3. 2 gets cancelled, 3 gets cancelled, it will become 2. So 6 2s are 12. Again, if I am doing by 18, 2 gets cancelled, 3 gets, so it becomes 3. 6 3s are 18. So it can be able to divide both if I take a smallest power of each prime from both the factors. For LCM, this is supposed to divide LCM. The number is supposed to divide LCM. So 12 3s are 36. 18 2s are 36. So I have to take greatest powers. So here greatest power is 2 square. Here greatest power is 3 square. So 3 square to 3 square, 4 into 9 is 36. If this 36 is divisible by this we use when we do add the factors. When we have to find out LCM and add, then we use this. When we have to find a common factor, we have to simplify the factor. We have to remove the common factors. Now we'll see the exercise 1.2. Let us see the number as prime products. Let us see 5005. 5005. You know that it is divisible by 5 because n is 5. So it becomes 5 into 1001. Now 1001 are the factors. So I have to check up all my, whether is it divisible by 3? 1 plus 1, 2. So it is not divisible by 3. Is it divisible by 7? Let us see. 7 ones are 7, 30. 7 fours are 28, 21, 7 threes are 20. So it is divisible by 7. 7 into 143. Now here 143 is divisible by what? Is it divisible by 7? No. Next 11. Is it divisible by 11? 11 ones are 11, 11 threes are 33. So the factorization of 5005 is equal to 3 into 7 into 11 into 30. So we have to proceed from smallest prime to the next prime to the next prime to the next prime, wherever it is divided. If you see here, by the time we get 143, so it cannot go beyond 30. What is the next prime number beyond 13? 17. So 17 into, it is what is approximately 17 tens are 100, 770. So this number should be less than 10. But less than 10, we have already checked. There is no factor. So we need not go further. If you go next 17, you have to check up. Less than 10, next factor will be less than 10. So less than 10, we already checked all the factors. So we need not check it again. So it is up to 11 into 30. Okay? We will see another example. Is 7429. 7429. Is it divisible by 3? Let us see. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 9, 18. 18 plus 4, 12. Not divisible by 3 or 9. Is it divisible by 7? 7 ones are 7. 0. 7 6 are 42. It is not divisible by 7. Is it divisible by 30? 11 is 11 to 9. Also not divisible by 11. Is it by 13? 13 5s are 65. 92. 13 7s are 91. 19. It's not divisible by 30. Next, 70. After 13, next prime number is 70. Next prime number is 23. Let us see 23. 23 3s are 69. 69 means 52. 23 through 16. 23 3s are 69. I have 5 to 52. 23 2s are 46. So 5. 6. 6 9 69. So 23 is 69. So 23 into 3 23. 23 into 3 23. Suppose I have to find out next prime number. Next prime number. What is next prime number? 29. 29 is the next prime number. So if it is 300 means it is around 11. Approximately 11. Less than 11. The next multiple is less than 11 3s are 330. Almost less than 11. But less than 11 I have already checked. There is no factor. So this itself is a prime number. That means 23 into 3 23 is 7429. Because 27 is 27. 27 is not a prime number. 29 is prime. So 29 into 10 if I put 290. 29 to 11. 290 plus 29. 319. So next 11 into 12. So it's not going with 12. It's not going with 11. It's not going with even 30. It's going beyond. So there is no prime number. So 323 itself is a prime number. I need not look further. Understood? So what is 7429 factors? 23 into 3, 23. So LCM HCF is a, we know this thing, standard picture. 17, 23, 29. 17, 23, 29. 17, 23, 29. All are prime numbers, co-prime numbers. The LCM is 17 into 23 into 29. What is HCF? HCF is nothing. Because there are co-prime. They're all co-prime. Now say 8, 9, 25. 8, 9, 25. Okay. So 8, 9, 25. What is the common factor? 25 is 5 square. If 9 is 3 square, this is 2 cube. There is no common factor. There is absolutely no common factor. So the LCM is 8 into 9 into 20. LCF is 1. Nothing can divide them common. They are all co-prime numbers. You got it. Check whether 6 of n can end with a digit 0. 6 of n can end with a digit 0. 6 to the power of n. Let us see 6 to the power 6 square. 6 into 6, 36. 6 cube. So 36 into 6. Again, unit digit is 6. So any number of these, unit digit is 6. It will never end with 0. So we can say this will never end with 0. Because for to end with 0, either you should have 5, you should have one of the factors. But 6 to the power of n, 5 is not a factor. 5 is not a factor. Now this one. Why these are composite numbers? So I am taking this 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13. 7 into 11 into 13 plus 13. Is it a composite number? Then what is common here? 13 common. I am taking 13 out. So 7 into 11 plus 1. So 77 plus 1. So 78 into 13. 78 can be given into further factorization. So this is a composite number. Similarly is the case with the second one. If I take 5 outside plus 1, it will become a composite number. This is also same thing. 17 into 11 into 2, 17 into 11 to 5. I take 17 into 11 outside. So 2 plus 5, 7. So this becomes a composite number of 7 into 11 into 17. Okay. This decimal we have already seen. Decimal expansions. This we have already seen. So P by Q, if it is Q is in the form of 2 to the power of n, 5 to the power of n, it is a terminating decimal. If it is not in this form, it is a non-terminating decimal. These are all we have seen the example. No, we'll come to the next chapter. Proof of irrational number. How to prove that root 2 cannot be expressed in terms of P by Q, or root 3, or root 7, or root 11, all prime numbers of root which are not perfect squares, then they cannot be represented in the form of P by Q. How we can represent? How we can prove that? Suppose so our objective is to prove that root 2 or root 3 cannot be represented in the form of P by Q. Suppose you take a number 2. If it is a factor of 6 square, then it is also a factor of 6. If you take 7, if it is a factor of 49 square, it is also a factor of 49. A square, suppose 49 square means what? 7 into 7. Square means another 7 into 7. So 7, if it is a factor of 49 square, is also factor. Suppose there is a 12 square. Is 7 a factor of 12 square? No. 12 square is 12 into 12, that is 3 into 4 into 3 into 4. Is 7 a factor? No. 7 is not a factor. So if 7 is a factor of some a square, then it must be a factor of a also, because a square is nothing but same factors will repeat. Same prime numbers will repeat. If this prime number is not there in its one of the factors, then it will not be in the factor also a square also. But if it is a factor of a square, then it has to be a factor of a also. Because this is prime. I am talking of prime. It is not applicable with the non-prime. Suppose you take 4. This is not a prime. So if it is a factor of 10 square, what is 10 square? Is 100 by 4 is 25. So 4 is a factor of 10 square. But is it a factor of 10? No. It is equal to 5 by 2. It is not a factor of 10. Because this is not prime. This is non-prime. What is prime? 2 is prime. So if 2 is a factor of 4 square or 6 square or 5 square, is 2 factor of 5 square? Or 8 square or 10 square. 2 is a factor of 10 square, so 2 has to be a factor of 10. Understand this? Then we will prove this root 2. Suppose, let us assume root 2 is, I can represent in the form of p by q, both are co-prime. And there is no common factor between them. There is no common factor between p and q. So if I square both sides, what will happen? 4, 2 is equal to p square by q square. So that means 2q square is equal to p square. That means what? P square, 2 is a factor of p square. When 2 is a factor of p square, that means 2 must be a factor of p also. So let me represent p as 2z. PQR, 2r. 2r. So this becomes 2r whole square, that is 4r square. So 2q square is equal to 4r square. I put 2 here. That means what? 2 is also a factor of q. 2 is also a factor of q square. That means what? 2 is factor of q square means 2 is also a factor of q. That means 2 is factor of q and 2 is factor of p. That means p by q is not co-prime. They have a common factor 2 into 2, which can again get cancelled. Then again I come to a co-prime. So that means it will never be in this form. So root 2, root 3 can never be represented by p by q form and without common factors. Here it is proving that 2 is common factor in both sides, which is not our assumption. Our assumption is they are co-prime. They don't have a common factor. But unless they have a common factor, it is not tallying the equation. You understood this concept? We'll explain it. To prove that root 2 cannot be written in the form of p by q, where these are all have no common factor. So let it be p by q. Then p is equal to root 2q. So p square is equal to 2q square. That means 2 is a factor of p square. That means 2 is also a factor of p. So I can write p as 2r, some r, half of p. R is half of p. So it gives us 2r whole square is equal to q square. That is 4r square is 2q square. 2r square is q square. That means 2 is a factor of q. Because it's a factor of q square, it's also a factor of q. So, but it cannot be there. This is not our assumption. So that means this cannot be represented in the form of p by q. That is why this is a fraction. It's not a fraction. That's why we call this as real numbers or irrational numbers. We call them as irrational. They cannot be in a rational form. They cannot be ratioed. They are irrational. So irrational numbers, root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7. Rational numbers, 3 by 4, 4 by 5, 3 by 10. It can be non-terminating also. It can have terminating, it can have non-terminating. But this is not irrational. Both together we call it as real numbers because root 2 is there. You see, the root 2 is required. 1 square plus 1 square is root 2. This is there in the number line, but we cannot represent in P by Q form. We have to understand this also. So this proof we have seen. Let us see, is 5 minus root 3 is rational or irrational? As an example, 5 minus root 3, whether it is rational or irrational. So we have to see 5 minus root 3, whether it is rational or. Let us assume this is rational. Let us assume this is rational. So what it is between? Squaring both sides, 5 square minus root 3 whole square is plus 3 minus 10 root 3 is equal to P square by Q square. So that means 28 minus P square by Q square is equal to 10 root 3. Is this rational number? No. This is 28 Q square minus P square by Q square is equal to 10 root 3. If you count 10 this side, and this is a Q is a number, first number, P is an integer. So P, Q, P, this is a rational number. It is in the form of some P dash by Q dash. But root 3 cannot be represented by P dash by Q dash. It has to be irrational. So that means the assumption of P by Q is wrong. So 5 minus root 3 also irrational. Understood? Now let us see chapter 1.3. This we have already seen, writing the decimal form which we have seen earlier. This is to convert into decimal form. Now about prime factor of Q, here is a terminating. This decimal is terminating. So it can be written as P by Q. It is a rational number. This is an irrational number. This is also repetitive. This is also a rational number. This is not, there is no pattern. 1 2 0 1, 1 2 0 0 1, 1 2 0 0 0 1. So it is not a repetitive. This is a repetitive. This can be a rational. This is non-rational, irrational number. Okay. This we have already seen. 5 minus root 3 is how it is irrational. Show that 3 root 2 is irrational. 3 root 2 is also same. 3 root 2, let us be P by Q. P by Q. So let 3 come this side, P by 3Q. So root 2 is irrational. P is integer, Q is integer. This is rational, which is not tallying. So P by Q. Root 3, root 2 by 2. This cannot be represented as P by Q. Let us say root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. How to prove root 2 plus root 3 is irrational? Same formula. Root 2 plus root 3, let it be P by Q. So squaring both sides, 2, root 2 square is 2, plus root 3 square is 3, plus 2 root 6 is equal to P square by Q square. So root 6 is equal to P square by Q square minus 5 into 1 by 2. So root 6 is root 2 into root 3. This is irrational number. But these are all integers. They can form into a rational number. P dash by Q dash. So it cannot be. This is rational. This side cannot be rational number. So this assumption is wrong. This is irrational number. So anything associated with irrational number, any equation is irrational. This is small exercise. This is irrational. Similarly, we can prove all these are irrational. Okay? Thank you. Hello students, let us understand logarithms of class 10th. This is a part of real numbers, first lesson. Logarithms. Let us understand the concept. What is 3 cube? 3 into 3 into 3. That is 27. So, what is 5 cube? It is 125. What is 4 to the power of 4? 16 16s are 256. These are all in exponential form. 3 cube is 3 to the power of 3, 5 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 4. These are all exponential form. All exponential forms we can write in terms of logarithms. How logarithm is defined? For this, 27 is equal to 3 cube. When we convert it to logarithms, log of 27 to base 3. This is base, this is main, this is power. Is equal to 3. This is main, this is base, this is power. For this case, log of 125 to base 5 is equal to 3. And this one, log of 256 to base 4 is equal to 4. So this is how we convert an exponential form into a logarithmic form. Okay, we'll further see it. So, if x to the power of n is equal to a, then general form is log a to base x is equal to n. Right? We write this in a reverse way. A is equal to x to the power of n. A is the main, is the base, this is the power. So log a, this comes to the base, this comes to this. Log a to base x is equal to n. This is the general form of logarithm. Let us understand more. Suppose if I give log 10 to base 10 is equal to 1. So how to convert into exponential form? This base goes under this, this becomes power, this becomes main. So 10 is equal to 10 to the power of 1. So in another example, log 81 to the base 3 is equal to 4. That means what? This becomes base, this becomes power, this is the main. So 81 is equal to 3 to the power of 4. Can I do it? 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. This is 27 3s are 81. So this is how we convert logarithm to exponential form, and earlier we have seen exponential to logarithm form. Now see here. Log a to base b, it is equal to y. Then as per logarithm, you convert into exponential form. A main is equal to b to the power of y. B to the power of y. Okay. Now let us see one of your first examples of the test. Now see the examples of test. Okay. Chapter 1.5. Write the following in logarithmic form. So I am taking these two. 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 1024. 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 1024. And another example I am taking is 3 square is equal to 1 by 9. 3 to the power of minus 2. It is not 3 square. 3 to the power of minus 2. 3 to the power of minus 2 is equal to 1 by 9. Both I have to convert into logarithmic form. Let us see. So this is the, now I will write it in a reverse way. 1024 is equal to 2 to the power of 10. This becomes base, this is main, this is the power. So log 1024 to base 2 is equal to 10. So 2 to the power of 10 is 1024. How will we get 2 to the power of 10? 2 to the power of 5 is 32. Another 2 to the power of 5 is 32. If I put 32 into 32, put 32 into 32, it's 30 plus 2 whole square. 900 plus 4 plus 120. 4 to 1020. Okay, this is the logarithm exponential form. Now we see this one. 3 to the square 3 from minus 2 is equal to 1 by 9. So I'll write here 1 by 9 is equal to 3 to the power of minus 2. So what I am putting? This is main, this is base, this is power. So log of 1 by 9 to base 3 is equal to minus 2. Okay, understood? So I'm taking the exponent to the other side, main to this side, exponent to the other side. So log of main to the base 3 is equal to power. So we'll see other example. So we can take up other examples, but suppose I am taking up this example. Root 49 is 7 and 32 to the power of 2 by 5 is equal to 1 by 4. Is it 2 by 5? Okay. Minus 2 by 5. Okay. One is 32 to the power of minus 2 by 5 is equal to 1 by 4. But the second one is root 49 is equal to 7. Let us do these things. So expansion goes to the other side and this comes to this side. 1 by 4 is equal to 32 to the power of minus 2 by 5. Otherwise, you see 32 is what? 32 is 2 to the power of 5. 32 is 2 to the power of 5. Whole to the power of minus 2 by 5. If I get cancelled, 2 to the power of minus 2, that is equal to 1 by 4. So both are tallying. The equation given is tallying. But you have to convert into logarithm form. What is the logarithm form? Log of 1 by 4 to the base 32 is equal to minus 2 by 5. Okay, we'll see again here. 32 to the power of 2 minus 2 by 5 is equal to 1 by 4. That is 1 by 2. So 1 by 4 is equal to 32 to the power of minus 2 by 5. So log of 1 by 4 to the base 32 is equal to minus 2 by 5. If you see here, 32 to the power of minus 2 by 5, 32 is 2 to the power of 5. Minus 2 whole to the power of minus 2 5. It gets cancelled. But 2 to the power of minus 2, that is equal to 1 by 4. Okay, this is great. Now let us write the other one. Root 49 is equal to 7. That means 7 is equal to root of 49. That is equal to 49 to the power of half. This 49 to the power of half. So log 7 to base 49 is equal to half. Equal to half. Suppose if it is written like this, 7 square is equal to 49. 7 square is equal to, then what will write? 49 is equal to 7 square. So log of 49 to the base 7 is equal to 2. Both are different. Writing this into logarithmic form, writing this in logarithmic form are different. But values are reverse, 1 by 7, 7. But log 7 to 49 is 1 by 2. Log 49 to base 7 is 2. In fact, this is equal to 1 by log 7 to 49. 1 by 2. This will come later. This rules will see later. But both are writing different. So you have to take the exponent to the other side and main to this side and write the logarithm. Now, this now write the following in exponential form. So what is given here? Log 8 to base 4 is equal to x. The fourth one. Fourth one is log of 8 to base 4 is equal to x. We take another one. Log of 127, 1 by 27 to base 3 is equal to y. Log of 1 by 27 to base 3 is equal to y. Okay, these two we are seeing as an example. That is. So this is simple. This is main. This is base. This is power. So 8 is equal to 4 to the power of x. 8 is equal to 4 to the power of x. Suppose if equal 4 is 2 square, 4 to the power of x, 8 is 2 cube. So this becomes 2 to the power of 2x. That means 2x is equal to 3. Both base is same. So 2x is equal to 3. That means x is equal to 3 by 2. So what is x is? 3 by 2. So we can find out x also. And we can write in the logarithmic form also. See the second one. Log 3 to base 1 by 27 is equal to y. Again, this is base, this is power, this is main. So 1 by 27 is equal to 3 to the power of y. Okay. What is 1 by 27? 1 by 3 cube equal to 3 to the power of y. So 1 by 3 cube, when it comes to the numerator, it becomes 3 to the power of minus 3 is equal to 3 to the power of y. That means both are base are same. Y is equal to minus 3. Is equal to minus 3. You see here, if I put 3 to the power of minus 3 is equal to 1 by 3 cube. That is 1 by 27. It is 10. So this we have to write to exponential form. Main is equal to 3 to the power of y. Y is minus 3. So we write is log of 1 by 27 base 3 is equal to minus 3. Is minus 3. So when you write into exponential form, 3 to the power minus 3 is equal to 1 by 27. This is an exponential form. Now let us see this. Determine the value of the following. So I am taking the log root x, log 5 and 2 to base 4. Let us do these two as an example. Plot of log of root x to base x. Second one is log of 5 and 2 to base 2. He is talking what is this value? What is this value? Let us say this value is a. So what becomes x to the power of a, root x is equal to x to the power of a. I'll minimize. Okay, now you see the table is clear. Now we are doing these two problems. Log 5 and 2 to base 2 is how much? Log root x to base x is how much? That is it. Log root x to base x, let it be a. So when x to the power of a is equal to root x, that means a is equal to 1 by 2. Because x to the power of root means x to the power of half is equal to x to the power of a. That means a is equal to 1 by 2. That is this one. Log of 5 and 2 to base 2, let it be equal to y. So 512 is equal to 2 to the power of 5. So 512 is what? 512, but 500, what is the 2 to the power of here? 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Into 2 to the power of 4 is another 16. 16, 16 are 256 into 2. 256 into 2. 2 6 are 12, 10, 11, 512. So this is 2 to the power of 9. 4 plus 4 plus 1. This is 2 to the power of 9. Is equal to 2 to the power of 5. Since base are same, so y is equal to 9. So here the answer is 9. Here the answer is half. Okay, you got these two problems. Now do another problem. Log 0.01 to base 10. Let us see this also. Log of 0.01 to base 10, let it be equal to x. Then this is the main, this is the base, this is the power. So 0.01 is equal to 10 to the power of x. So what is 0.01? 01 is 1 by 100. That means 1 by 10 square. That is 10 to the power of minus 2 is equal to 10 to the power of x. So x is equal to minus 2. So when I put x minus 2 here, 10 to the power minus 2 is 1 by 100. That is 0.01. Both are carrying. So you understood how to convert an exponential, how to get the value. Then we will see. So this we have able to fill up. We have to do other things we have to do. Then let us see this properties of logarithms. This further belongs to properties of logarithms. Let us understand properties of logarithms. First property. Log of a plus b to base 10 is equal to log a into b to base 10. Log a plus log b to base 10. Log a to base 10 plus log b to base 10, same base, is equal to log ab to base 10. This is the first one. Let us see. Let log a to base 10 is equal to x. Base 10 or any base, it can be any base. Then what is, as when we put it in exponential form, a is equal to x 10 to the power of x. In this case, b is equal to this case. b is equal to get log b to base 10 is equal to y. So b is equal to 10 to the power of y. Okay. When I multiply a into b is equal to 10 to the power of x into 10 to the power of y. That means 10 to the power of same base. So it will become x plus 5. So when I convert it into logarithm, this is the main, this is the base, this is the power. So log of AB to base 10 is equal to log x is equal to x plus y. Log AB to base 10 is equal to x plus y. But x is what? X is log A. Y is log B. So log A plus log B is the first step formula. We'll see the negative side. Log of a by b to base x is equal to log a minus log b both are to base x. Let us see this one. Log of a to base x, let it be p. Log of b to base x, let it be q. So then what becomes? A is equal to x to the power of p. B is equal to both same base. B is equal to x to the power of q. So when I divide a by b is equal to x to the power of p by x to the power of q. That is equal to x to the power of p minus q. So when I convert this into logarithms, log of a by b to base x is equal to p minus q. What is p? P is log a. Q is log b. So log A minus log. Understood? So we can conclude these properties of logarithm. First property, log of A plus log B is equal to log AB. This is same base. Again, log of A minus log B, same base, is equal to log of A by B. This is the first property. It is plus or minus. If it is plus, it is multiplication. If it is minus, it is division. Okay. Now let us see the second property. Log of x to the power of m to base a is equal to m into log of x to base a. This property, log of x to the power of m into base a is equal to m into log x to base a. Let us say, let log x to base a, let it be equal to p. So then when I expand this, x is equal to a to the power of p. I am raising both sides to the power of m. So what is becoming? X to the power of m is equal to a to the power of p m. So I am taking logarithms. This is main, this is base, this is power. So log of x to the power of m to base a is equal to p m. That means m into what is p? Log x to base a. This is our formula. So whenever you say log of 2 cubed, then it automatically becomes 3 log 2. When you say log of y to the power of minus 10, it will automatically become minus 10 log y. So because the exponents when we make to the power, it will be same. So but instead of I write here. Say log of x to the power of minus n. Let us see what it becomes. So let log x to base a is equal to p. So that means x is equal to a to the power of p. Now arrange both sides to the power of minus m. That means a to the power of p whole to the power of minus m. That is equal to a to the power of minus p m. So when I convert these to logarithms, log x to the power of minus m base a is equal to minus p m. That is minus m into p is again log x to base a. So whatever is to the power will come to multiplication. This is the second property of logarithms. Now you see one more property. Log of x to base a is equal to 1 by log of a to base x. Here main and base interchange. Main and base interchange. Let us see this how this property is coming. Let log of x to base a is equal to p. Then as per expansion, x is equal to a to the power of p. Then I raise both sides to the power of 1 by p. I raise both sides to the power of 1 by p. Then what happens here? P gets cancelled. So this becomes here. This becomes x to the power of 1 by p. So that means a is equal to x to the power of 1 by p. When I do logarithms here, log a base x is equal to 1 by p. 1 by p means p is what? P is log x to base a. So 1 by log x to base a. So log a to base x is equal to 1 by log x to base a. This is the third. It is simply instead of I can write other way also. Suppose log x base a is equal to p. X is equal to a to the power of p. When this power of p comes this side, x to the power of minus p is equal to a. 1 by p. So 1 by p is equal to a. So again, log a to base x is equal to 1 by p. So it's only converting the powers from one side to other. Let us see the properties. Laws of logarithms. First law is log xy is equal to log x plus log y. Whether it is log xy, log ab, log abc. If we suppose log abc, then log a plus log b plus log c. Log xy is equal to log x plus log y. Let us say log abc. Log of abc is equal to log a plus log b plus log c. Let log a to base b is equal to x, log b to base b small b. Let us say this for b, we will say it as 10. 10 is equal to y. Log c to base 10 is equal to z. Then what is becoming? A is equal to 10 to the power of x, b is equal to 10 to the power of y, c is equal to 10 to the power of z. So when I am multiplying a, b, c, it's becoming 10 to the power of x plus y plus z. So log of a, b, c base 10 is equal to x plus y plus z. X plus y plus z means log a plus log b plus log c. This is our formula. Earlier we have done for 2 terms, now we are extended to 3 terms. So it can be any number of terms, it will be plus infinity. Okay, so this is the first law. Log a b is equal to log a plus log b with the same base. Second law is again log a by b is equal to log a minus log b. This we have already seen. Next law. Log, what is the formula? Log x to the power of m to base a is equal to m log x to base a. This is what we have seen. Log x to the power of m is equal to m log x base a. Now we will see the examples. Now these examples. Fourth, lesson 4. So 2 log 3 minus 3 log 2. Log 3 minus 3 log 2. What is the second one? Another one. Log 243 plus log 1. Log 243 plus log 1. What is this one? Log 10 plus 2 log 3 minus log 2. Log 10 plus 2 log 3 minus log 2. Okay. Let us see here. First is 2 log 3 minus log 2. We know log 3 to the power of m is not m log 3. So this becomes the power log 3 square minus log 2 cube. Log 3 square, when I bring the power to this side, becomes 2 log 3. This is 2 log 3. So 2 goes to the power side. 3 log 2, 3 goes to the power side. 2 cube. This is A, this is B. Log A minus log B is equal to log of A by B. So 3 square by 2 cube. That means log of 9 by 8. Log 9 by 8. Let us see this one. Log 10 minus 2 log 3 minus log 2. Log of 10 by 2 log 3 becomes 3 square. So 10 by 3 square into 2. Both are minus, so they come in the denominator. Log A minus log B minus log C. B is 3 square. This comes to here. So when I do log A plus log B log C, nothing should be here. It should either be in the form of power or it should be 1. So here I am taking it in the form of power. So now 3 square into 2. 2 5s are 10. So this becomes log 5 by 9. Let us see this problem. Log 1 is 0 because any base is still log 1. log 1 to any base 10 or log 1 to 20, anything. If it is 0, because 10 to the power of 0 is 1. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So whatever is the base, log 1 to base anything is 0. So then what is this becoming? This is 0, log 243. Log 243. That is nothing but, what is 243? 243 is 7 cube. Because 7 square or 49 into 7, 63, 343. It is 243. It is not 7, it is something 3. Let us see. 3 8s are 24, 3 1s are 3. This is 3 to the power of 4. So this is 3 to the power of 5. That means 5 log 3 is log 243 is 5 log 3 or log 3 to the power of 5. 5 comes to this side, 5 log 3. So this we have converted to simple form. So this we have done. Now let us say expand the following. Log p square q square by r. Log of p square q square by r. That's the other one. Log of square root of x cube by y square. Log of square root of x cube by y square. Am I correct? Let me see. Okay, we'll see these two problems. Log p square q cubed by r, log root of x cubed by y square. These two we want expand. Let us see. Log a b by c means log a plus log b minus log c. So again, p square, it comes to here, 3 comes to here. So 2 log p plus 3 log q minus log r. This is expansion form of p square by 2 square. Now you see this one. This is a by b. This is root means to the power of half. Root means what? To the power of half. So half comes here, half into log of x cubed by y square. Because square root has become 2 to the power of half m log n. Log x to the power of m is equal to m log x. So now this is a by b. So half into log of x cubed minus log of y square. That means what? Again this 3. This becomes half log x cubed minus half log y square. That means when 3 comes here, 3 by 2 log x minus 2 into 2 get cancelled, log y. This is the expansion form of log root of x cubed by y square. Okay. Now see. Now application of logarithm. See, this is one practical application. Use logarithm. This is a richer scale. What is this called? Richer scale. What is richer scale? Richer scale shows us magnitude of earthquake. Magnitude of earthquake. Richer scale gives us magnitude of earthquake. So richer scale gives us magnitude of earthquake. What is this magnitude is defined as log of intensity by standard. Small tremor has been taken as standard. Small tremor. And how many times it is more than this tremor is the intensity. So this is, we have, there is a 5 scale, teacher scale 5, iterate 5, iterate 3 scale. Somewhere it is 6.5, somewhere it is 7. This is what we get in the news. That means how much it is more intense. Suppose I will take M is 5. 5. So that what is becoming the case? 10. So 10 to the power of 5 is equal to I by S. That means the intensity is 10 to the power of 5 times the minimum tremor. Intensity is 10 to the power of 5 times the tremor. See how much times? 10 to the power of 5 times. So this is the lowest tremor we call. So if the whole earth gets shared to the tune of 5 Richter scale, we can. Suppose if it is 6.5. So 6.5 is equal to log I by S. That means is 10. So 10 to the power of 6.5 is equal to I by S. Intensity is 10 to the power of 6.5 into S. That means 10 to the power of 6, 10 to the power of 7 in between. 10 to the power of 6.5 is the intensity that many times. That many times that. So there's a, what is the difference between 6.5 and 5? How many times? Suppose it is 5 times. It is the scale is 5, the scale is 6.5. This is 10 to the power of 6.5 by 10 to the power of 5. That means 10 to the power of 1.5. So 10 cubed to the power of 3 by 2. Okay? So 10 to the power of 1.5. That means 10 under root of 1000. So many times it is more than 5. If the reading is 5 or reading is 6.1, this is the difference. Let us see. M is equal to log of intensity by a standard 1. Lowest standard 1. This is the definition. Suppose this is 4. So that means what? I is equal to 10 to the power of 4 into S. Suppose if it is 6. I is equal to 10 to the power of 6 into S. That means how much time it is? 10 to the power of 4 is 100 times. 200 times. 10 to the power of 6 by 10 to the power of 4 becomes 100 times. That means if reading from 4 to reading from 6 is 100 times more earth is shivering. So in the Bhuji, we call it as 7, where devastation took place. If it is more than 6, it is dangerous. If it is more than 6, it is dangerous. Less than 5, all buildings almost are designed for this. But between 5 to 6 also it is mild, cracks will come, other things will come. So between 4 and 6, if reading of 4 and 6, the intensity of tremor is 100 times more between these two. So we should, as it increases, we should be more careful. For 6.1, dangerous. 6.2, further dangerous. 6.3, dangerous. 7, very dangerous. This is how this Richter scale is given in logarithms. Let us see this. So this is a logarithm. If 10 times the minimum one, log 10 by this, that means it comes as m is 1. If m is 1, the log base is 10, 10 to the power of 1 is equal to I by s. I is 10s. So that is, if 1 means it is 10 times the smallest tremor. So this is m. So x will be the number of times the intensity. That means what? Log Ix by 5. So it is equal to m is equal to log x to base 10. See here. Suppose h times the s. H times s is equal to m. This is 10. So 10 to the power of m is equal to x into s is equal to x. 10 to the power of m is equal to x. So if it is 1, x is 10 times. If m is 1, x is 10 times. M is 2, x is 100 times. M is 3, x is 1000 times. Like that, scale is to be understood. So with this, look at